Welcome to the Mom POV Show.
Hot Topics edition. So today we have a hot topic that we're going to discuss. And I'm so excited to discuss it with you because I know you deal with it just like me. And it's called negativity.
Yes.
It's like that big elephant in the room that many moms have to deal with. And we've been dealing with it for, I don't know, since our kids started playing sports. But so many moms have to deal with the negativity factor of what it means to be in the public eye. And that has so many facets to it. So not only like on the field, off the field, you know, when a game went well, when a game did not go well.
Absolutely.
You know, everyone always has an opinion.
They do.
So like as moms, our point of view, we always have ours as well.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So like one of the big things that I can say is narratives. So like one big thing with media and our sons being in the public eye is everybody has a narrative about everything, right?
Yes, they do.
So like even if it's something small that we feel, you know, our sons, you know, were kind of just did what they, you know, just was led to do in the moment, turns into like scrutiny and negativity. But like for me, like I deal with it in a lot of different ways, but it's hard. It's hard. It's emotional, especially because like CJ's such a great human being. He would never intend on hurting anyone, nor bringing anybody down, nor not being like someone that's encouraging. He's always been a mentor type to, you know, the youth, but not just that. He's always ready to receive.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
That's true
encouragement, critiques.
Yes.
You know, what can I do better? What, you know, but that's his spirit.
Yes.
You know, but not everybody's like that, you know. So when you're dealing with negativity and then, you know, you hear these narratives and opinions, it goes, you know, kind of goes against what you know your child's about.
Absolutely.
So like for me, it's hard.
I can only, you know, what's amazing is that from our family, our viewpoint is creating our own narrative. So we try to get ahead and create the narrative, tell our story. Because what I find is if you don't tell your story, they will tell your story. So we've learned very quickly that we need to create and share our own narrative.
Yeah.
Because people would do it for you. If you don't say anything, you don't do anything, then they will create what they think you are or what you should be. And we learned that fairly quickly. We started that process back in high school. So we knew right away that we needed to get ahead.
Yeah, most definitely. And people do that in different ways. Like I don't take to social media and say much, but I sure am tempted.
Me and you both. And you both.
I remember one time in college, so something happened at Ohio State, and so I chimed in on a discussion. And no, I'm not kidding you. Once I hit send, CJ called me, take it down right now. And I was like, how did you see it that fast? He's like, Mom, you have to be above it. And I'm like, but I don't want to be above it.
Because you want to stick up for what's right.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. And even, you know, I see things on social media that said about our boys and about their brothers. I see things. And so my reaction is a positive. And so like you, I want to respond back.
Yes.
But I respond in a positive way. So people can know, one, his mama saw it. I want everybody to know I saw it.
Just so you know.
But then I want them to know that we are about positivity. We are about showing kindness and love and gratitude.
Yes, definitely.
And so I flip it on them.
Yeah.
And so that's my way of trying to combat that.
Right.
Is when I see the negative things, replace it with a positive.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think people forget that our kids are human.
Yes.
They're human. They're not robots.
They're not robots.
They're not pixels.
No.
And what
they're not
we
your players just on Madden. Yeah. Yes.
Like, you know, they're real, like, you know, human beings. And, you know, with every action is a reaction. And sometimes you just react. So, like, I take it to, like, when CJ was in the middle, because he's such a great person and he always makes sure he greets the other quarterback on the other team.
He does.
Even if, girl, we've had some games where, like, I would run into the locker room, you know, but CJ is just an outstanding human being. He knows that it's not about him individually. It's about him being a representation of the leadership of that team.
And his family.
Thank you.
And his family and God.
Yes. And he takes that to the field. So like if you run off and tuck your head, from any reason, you're not only reflecting on yourself, you're reflecting on the team.
Yes.
You're reflecting on your family. You're reflecting on so many things. And so I think that's what makes CJ such an outstanding, human being, because he really understands that. But the main thing is that he just loves to, show love to other people. And like, so this narrative popped up about like him, and it was 2 days of narratives. And it just like, as a mom, the mom's point of view of it, I couldn't understand why people were taking such a negative reaction to such a positive interaction.
Yes. Very positive. Uplifting, encouraging.
Yes. And you know what? Like the way I live my life is like someone's been on the job, a week. Yes. Days before me, they probably know just a little bit more than me.
That's right.
And so the narrative like was hard because I don't even think that, I mean, I can't speak for anyone, but I don't really think any player feels that way about another player. I just think it was like something where body language maybe, and so I was telling CJ, I'm like, well, maybe like, just, like limit what you say or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna still be me. Period. Like,
and that's the thing. Why should he change? He didn't do anything. He was encouraging.
Right.
And then some people then looked at Caleb's nonverbal as something negative. We don't know him.
Right.
Most people don't know him.
Right.
And so I just saw it as two brothers that came together and was just encouraging one another. And it was a tough loss.
It was. It was a tough loss. It was a tough loss, but they've all had tough losses.
Absolutely.
When
you are an elite player, elite players don't like to lose.
Yeah. And I remember our quarterback's interaction. Your quarterback, Kyler, and CJ. Like Kyler, he was a blessing. He told CJ some of his wisdom.
He did.
And he didn't hold back and be like, oh, wow, he really told CJ, like, stay in there, make smart moves, learn from your mistake. Like, and I know Kyler's been at it a long time, but like, it was just positive between two. And, I won't put this in the room, but I will, the Black men.
I agree.
That are elite at what they do, and they came together in a positive interaction. That's where right. They were it was an encouraging type of environment. So like, when you see those kind of narratives, it's hard as a mom. Your point of view is like, what?
It's very hard. And then when you have a relationship with the other mom.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that's hurtful because it's also, it could be not sure how she may respond. She might think that you believe what the media is saying,
right?
or the narrative that's out there, and so people don't think about how that impacts the entire family,
right? And I know our son signed up for this. I get clickbait, and I get if you say everyone got along so well and everybody hugged each other, nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear the controversy. I get that part, but I think that the narrative, if you're going to push one, it just needs to be an accurate one.
True,
but as a family, like it's hard to sometimes. Find the higher road. You know what I mean? And like even goes to like games. Like some games are great.
Yes.
And some games are not so great.
Yes.
Very true.
Very true. Because depending on the outcome of the game, our sons may not be in a position to want to gather or to talk, depending on the outcome of the game. Like I just think about when my husband's at work and he comes home and I haven't seen him for several hours. I'm like ready to like leap in his arms and talk to him and share my day.
Right.
But he needs a moment to decompress.
Yeah.
That's no different than our sons, that they need a moment to decompress because it was not just mentally, but physically taxing on the body.
Yes.
And I think sometimes people forget that they just got off from work and they just need a moment.
Off from work.
That's
exactly it. I know like sometimes after games and like, especially hard ones, like I'm still like, I'll meet CJ in the hallway when he's coming out and I'm just like, I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
Like I'm just so proud of you because you know what? No matter what you've gone through, you've gone to another level in life.
That's it.
Because you're going forward and you're moving forward and you're progressing and you're learning and you're being taught lessons too along the way. Like God's warriors have to be tough. He's hit with just all different aspects of things, and so after a game, they're like you're saying, decompressing. All of that is coming now to the forefront because it's not no adrenaline left,
Yes.
And so that's like a time when positivity is most appreciated and needed.
Yes. Even if they win, if they lose, they still need the same message, at least with us, with our family, after a great win or a tough win or loss. And we're there to greet Paris after the game.
Yeah.
We're there for positive reinforcement.
Yes, definitely.
It doesn't matter if he win, lose. It's about positivity, reminding him that he's blessed. He played his best.
Yes,
and
definitely.
then you just start all over again tomorrow.
Yes.
And so that's the common message that we send and that we share with him.
Yeah, most definitely. And I know that's the same for us. Like, you know, I just think it's important to keep the main thing.
Yes.
Because you know what? Everything evolves. Like the NFL, I'm learning, is a very small circle.
It really is.
But it's big, but it's really small.
It is.
You know, your opposing coach could be your coach the next year.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like that wide receiver might be on your team. So it's
true.
like, you know, so you just never know. And I noticed like the trend of the NFL is that each Sunday it's who has the best game plan.
That's it.
Because everybody's great.
At that level, absolutely.
I mean, at that level, everybody is great. Everybody's learned their craft or learning their craft, but still elite. Everybody's elite.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I agree.
1% of the world.
Yes.
Can you believe our sons are part of 1% of the world? So when we see that negativity, we have to remind ourselves that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And I think CJ, one big thing he told me a long time ago was that during the week, he stays off social media.
Yeah.
So social media is like, it's a great thing. It's really evolved our, generations and things,
Absolutely.
But it has the negative aspects where everybody's opinion is counted, But like CJ will just void out social media, especially during season.
Yeah, Paris doesn't, he'll go on if he needs to post something.
Mm-hmm.
He'll make his post. He's off. He says, Mom, I don't have time for the negative energy.
Right.
He said, because that's not what fuels me.
Yeah.
What fuels me is God and my family. The negativity has no place in my life, so I don't even look at it.
Yeah, and that probably must be hard for them too, don't you think? Because a lot of they have to post.
Yeah, they have to post. And the thing is with Paris, he said he learned it at Ohio State. You just quickly make your post and you get off. He said there's no need for me to look at comments.
Yeah.
There's no need. And if it's something I want him to look at or Sydney or my husband, we'll just send it to him.
Yeah.
And he'll take a look at that particular thing.
Right.
But other than that, he was like, I don't have time for negativity.
Yeah. I know sometimes going to games is interesting.
Yes.
As far as just seeing I won't really say negativity, but
well, I would say it's different.
Yeah.
Because you think about when we was at Ohio State. And we were always together as a family unit.
Yeah,
so we sat together, home and away. We traveled together. We tailgate together.
That's really true. Yeah.
Then when you transition to the pros, you may have a family section, but within that family dynamic has now changed.
Yeah.
Because now you have wives, you have girlfriends, you have children, aunts, uncles. And so now that whole family dynamic looks totally different. Totally different.
And it's spread out.
And it's spread out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've sat next to some very zealous people.
I have too.
And I try to be low key. So I don't ever announce, of course I'm not going to announce it, but I try to be very low key on who I am. Not that I'm anyone, but I'm CJ's mom. Because once they find out I'm CJ's mom, it's over.
Yeah, I know it's over for you, Kim. It's on and popping.
And then they have so that's the negativity I face. And so what I've learned is that earbuds are great. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'll put them in only because I don't want to interact. I don't want to let someone, what they're saying, take my focus off of praying and being there for my son.
Yeah.
But, the negativity is something that the moms face too.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I remember my first encounter with someone negative is that I had on my jersey.
Oh.
It was Paris's first preseason game. And I was traveling to Phoenix from Columbus, and it was the day of the game, and I had my jersey on because I was just such a proud mom. And so as I'm boarding the plane, I'm going to say gentleman, this gentleman tells me, he's like, you're going to see that sorry team play, and was just very negative. So I let him finish saying all what he needed to say. And I looked at him. I said, well, sir, I count it a privilege that I can go and I can watch my son play. I said, this is my son. I said, God blessed him with an opportunity to play at the next level and then use his platform to be a voice for the voiceless.
Right.
I said, so instead of you being negative, I implore you to keep us in your prayers.
Yes.
So we can continue to put goodness in the world.
Yes, I love that.
And he sat there and it got quiet.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later, he came to me and said, I owe you an apology.
Yes.
I owe you an apology. So I learned then, as much as I wanted to you know me, like I don't mind the smoke. So as much as I wanted to get with him, I had to remember the very thing that CJ and Paris is, that they know that they represent not just God and the family, but they also represent the organization that picked them. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give him positive energy back. And he had to come back and apologize.
Yes, definitely.
I couldn't believe it. I have to tell you, I was hot and bothered though. I was hot and bothered. Because I'm like, you just attacked me?
I accept your apology. But I'm not going to forget what you said.
But what's amazing is that these folks don't even know us. Mm-hmm. They don't even know our sons. They don't know our family. They don't know us. And they have these negative thoughts and opinions and don't even know us.
Yeah. As a fan, we understand, you know, you paid your hard-earned money
and you're passionate.
Yeah, and you're passionate. You want to be there.
Yes.
We understand that. And it's exciting. Like, I thank God for fans, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like when you're the opposing team,
it's tough.
Yeah, because, you know, like we're there to support, you know, and like we're there to represent. And I've seen even some parents not even wear gear, girl.
Yeah, and I'm one of them. I'm one of those parents, and I won't say what city, but there were a couple of cities last year that Paris begged me, Mom, do not wear any Cardinal gear because I don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want you to be attacked because you're wearing opposing team. And so I have to be really careful, depending on what team they're playing, what I can and cannot wear, which sounds ludicrous.
Yeah, it does.
To me. That sounds ludicrous.
Or what you say.
Yeah. So you have to think about those things. And I think sometimes fans forget we're not a fan.
Yeah.
We're moms.
Right. Yeah, we're moms.
We're moms, just that we want to be supportive. So we're not a fan. And I think that's the part that we have to remember when we go through. And any other thing too is that not just fans, but sometimes extended family after a tough game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he won the game or they lost the game. Sometimes they're just tired.
Yeah.
And it's hard for extended family to understand that.
Yeah. And keep your keep your, you know, opinions to a minimum. We had
please. This is not the time to talk about
why this
play happened. What were you thinking here? Why did they call that? I get people that look like, don't do it.
Oh my gosh. We had it was a kid, so I'm gonna let it go. But he was like, CJ, why you throw that pick? And CJ just had to laugh because he's a kid.
He's a kid.
But if it had been an adult, I would have been like, excuse me?
Let me see you go out there and do that.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like it is important, like, you know, the interaction, like fans to me, like, is short for what? Fanatics.
Fanatics. You have to remember. Mike says that to me all the time. You have to remember the definition, Monica.
Right. But you know what? I totally respect it because like some towns, there is generational.
Yes.
You know, it's generational.
That's true. And Green Bay's one of them. I just learned recently because the Cardinals played the Packers this past week, and their fan base is passionate. Oh. It was a nice fan base, very nice, friendly, welcoming, but they are extremely passionate and they're diehard.
Yeah, I love that.
I met one gentleman. He said that he has been a Packer fan for over 63 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that, and I know it's our kind of our rival, I guess, but like the Colts, yeah. I could probably, me and my daughter, like I've never been to a stadium louder than that stadium.
Really?
But I kind of have to change that now, but at the time.
Okay.
But, you know, like it's like they eat and breathe it.
Yes.
You know, and you know it when, I always know it's going to be a big, you know, a big turnout with fans when I get in the airport and I see people with their jerseys on.
Then you already know what's about to go down.
I already know.
You already know. Yes.
Like when I'm in the little subway with like 10 other jerseys of the opposing team,
I'm like, oh, this is going to be a tough game.
It's going to be when they're coming in from out of town. But like,
That's
how
true.
exciting though, and for like the Texans, like it's been revived where like I see
Yes.
Texans gear everywhere, and
That's incredible, Kim.
you
I
know,
love seeing that. That is incredible. Kim, like I told you earlier, I love when I see the Lowe's commercial and I see CJ in the Lowe's commercial. I get excited every single time.
he's like a natural, like
Yes.
he just,
Yes.
and everybody, little side notes, he's just hilarious.
He is comical.
He is so funny. Like
Yeah.
his little comments, and he does like the undertone comments,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just start busting up laughing. He's so timely. But the commercials kind of like give his personality, like
Which I
how
think is
he's
great.
he's always the one like looking all.
Which is great. Which is great.
But like taking like positivity from, any negative like interactions from fans. The positivity is we understand. We understand our mom's point of view is we understand.
We understand
that you are diehard, but can you be a little nicer? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Just respectful.
Yeah, just respect. You don't even have to like us.
No, you don't. But just be respectful. Yes.
What stands out usually is a negative.
Yes.
So like, but I love what your perspective on it, because it's really our kids were individually selected by a team, and that's their job. They play their position, and that's what they do.
Yes.
And anything that goes beyond that is really out of their hands. Like CJ says, control the controllables.
That's it.
That's the controllable is I'm going to do my best at my position.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And make everybody around me great. But like, like I was saying earlier, every sport you play, even high school, like I remember CJ's team in high school, there was one team we just could never beat.
Yeah.
And I used to get so frustrated. But CJ would have like 4 touchdowns, 300 plus yards. And I'm like, well, you played your position, but it was still like, it's like the negativity of that and people saying things because that was the one team we could never beat, but there's like an overall picture. Yes. And I love how PJ uses his platform. I think it's because you don't know, like there's kids that are particularly watching our sons.
That's it.
And so say they let the negativity get to them. Let's just say adverse, like let's switch the sides, and they start going off on tangents and rude, and kids see that.
They do. And
now you're stepping out of your positive role and how you can be an impact. Now you're stooping down
to their level.
And erasing every bit of hard work that you did.
That's true. That is so true.
I mean, I have so many kids that come up to me and they're like, CJ, is the reason why I express my faith at school, or CJ's the reason why I keep playing football even though I haven't done that well. Like, CJ's the reason why. I had a kid tell me CJ's the reason why I get up in the morning. Like his inspiration is why I get up in the morning.
And that's what it's all about.
It's like heartbreaking
because
what it's all about. Everybody has different, so I want to push that narrative.
That's it.
Let's push that narrative.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, that should be clickbait.
It should be. It should be. I absolutely agree. I agree with that. And I think, too, as we move forward with our podcast, is bringing other amazing moms on to share their story and give their perspective of their experience with their son.
Most definitely, especially because, that old saying, each one teach one.
Yes.
And like I may see something one way, but like you said, we may have a beautiful mother on here, or even just an expert or someone that's really in tune with whatever we're talking about that week to kind of give a whole nother point of view on it. But, the mom's point of view is an intimate point of view.
It is.
And so like, because myself and Monica, we really just want to help like our sons, we want to make sure that we leave something here, and so we're taking and being, transparent and showing that, yes, things bother us.
Yes.
And yes, we do have an opinion. And that's what the Mom's POV show
Absolutely.
Is for. So I look forward to our future guests for sure.
I do too. And it's going to be great because we are, like you said, it's 1%.
Yes.
So we are in a small class. And so it's great to be able to have other amazing women come on and continue to show the sisterhood that we have within this, because this is a special place, a special community to be a part of.
It is. And, I think I'm excited about our next episodes.
I am too.
Because our next episode is we're going to be covering NIL and recruitment.
Yes.
And those are 2 big topics that impacted our life.
Very much so.
Like our kids were smack dab in the middle of NIL. So we look forward to speaking about that. But as far as negativity goes, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to take the high road, be positive. Right. But just remember, I want everybody to remember there is a mom's POV.
That's right.
And we are affected by your POV.
We are. And we see and we hear everything.
Yes, we do.
Just because we don't speak on it.
Yeah.
Don't mean we don't see it or hear it.
And I do want to say in closing, thank you to those who have shown support for CJ and Paris.
Thank you.
And have been a constant encouragement. There's so many I wouldn't say names, but I will say that there's those who have stayed consistent.
Yes.
And even though any negativity, anything, you've always been there and have said really positive things. So thank you from the bottom of a mom's POV.
Thank you. We do appreciate that.
We do. We really appreciate.
We appreciate the prayers. Oftentimes I have fans come to me and just want to gift us with things. And I tell them all the time, I said, the gift for me is prayer.
Yes.
Praying that Paris is healthy,
yes,
that he can play a long career. And that's all this mom needs. So just continue to keep our sons in your prayers.
Please,
that's what's important. That's what's important.
Well, thank you for another great episode.
Yes, this was fun. I enjoyed it.
The Mom's POV Show.